there. Welcome to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. And if you are brand new, this is the very first movie review of mine that you've seen, yay, I'm so glad that you finally found my channel. I hope that you like what you see and that you come back. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Spirit Halloween, the movie. This Halloween movie is now available on video on demand. It's rated PG-13 and is an hour and 27 minutes. And my movie review mom grade is a B-. So let me explain why. Keep watching. Now, very few film critics actually tell you their score at the beginning because they're afraid that you're gonna, hit the road and turn away and go to another YouTube channel. Keep watching so I can explain the content that's in this film and the quality so that you can decide whether or not this is something that you want to watch or that you want your kids to watch. So first, let's start off in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines if there are any, and recommendations for other movies that are sort of similar that I think you'll also enjoy. All right, so in a nutshell, if the name Spirit Halloween sounds familiar to you, it's because it's a real store located in the United States and Canada. It's open every year from August to October to get customers in the Halloween mood and sell them all of the costumes and decorations that they're going to need for the creepy holiday season. The store must look really odd to viewers in other countries that don't celebrate Halloween. The story definitely has a Stranger Things vibe if you've watched that TV show. The story is about when a new Spirit Halloween store appears in a deserted strip mall. There are three middle school friends who think that they've outgrown trick-or-treating, and so they make a dare to spend the night locked inside the creepy store. And then they learn that it is haunted by an angry, evil spirit who has possessed the creepy animatronic characters. The kids embark on a thrilling and spooky adventure in order to survive the night and avoid becoming possessed themselves. Dun, dun, dun. The movie was directed by David Pogue and written by Billy Bates. Hey, Billy, my maiden name was Bates too. I wonder if we're related. If you're watching my review, comment down below. Let me know how to reach you and we can share genealogy information. I actually wrote a book on how to do your genealogy in case you're interested in checking that out. Some people like wandering around in cemeteries, just because it's spooky, but the rest of us like to go into cemeteries because we're searching for information about our ancestors. So anyway, I'll include my book information in the comments down below in case you're interested in that. All right, but on to the movie. Here's the list of things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, it is always really fun to see Christopher Lloyd again in anything. He gives a fun, over-the-top performance, as he usually does, but this time he is the villain in this movie. He's looking pretty old in the flick, yet he still has incredible energy and enthusiasm. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him very much, really only a few minutes at the beginning of the movie, but we do get to hear his voice as a spirit during much of the movie. Rachael Leigh Cook is also in the movie and is so cute. She just looks great. It's hard to believe that she's even getting roles as a mom. She looks that young. The trio of adventurous boys is played by young actors Donovan Cullen, Jaden Smith, and Dylan Martin Frankel. Fun fact, do you remember the old Toys R Us stores? Yeah, me too. My four sons and I spent a lot of time and a lot of money in those stores while they were young and growing up. It's really sad that they've all closed, and it's strange to me that they have because it's really fun to go to the toy store, see the toys. I mean, they actually still have a website where you can buy toys online, but it's just not the same thing. The big building in the movie where the Spirit Halloween store is set up was a previous Toys R Us store located in Rome, Georgia. I used to live in Georgia. That's where I did a lot of my Toys R Us shopping. The scary movie has plenty of jumps and creepy moments and adventurous moments that kids are going to get a kick out of. One of the characters' names is Bo. I have a son named Bo. So question, how old do you think is too old to go trick-or-treating? Because that's a big part of the movie. These kids think that they're too old. And so they end up, getting into a lot of trouble. So just curious, when I was growing up, basically, if you were a teenager, you were too old. But I think that has now extended. I feel like now it's okay for teenagers and maybe short adults. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. There's a fun soundtrack to the movie that I really enjoyed. And there are also several, my voice keeps cracking. There are several side stories that I think parents will appreciate because they teach some valuable lessons. Now, with all of that praise, there were some things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better. For example, some of the visual effects and acting are not that great. Now, the cast is very young, so it's understandable, but the whole film kind of looks and feels a little cheesy and low budget. Ultimately, the movie feels like an infomercial for the store and the company. I mean, good for them. They turned their store into a movie. That's great, but it feels like that. It's going to make you want to go to that store, really, which is the whole point of having the movie, I'm sure. But did you know that the Spirit Halloween store also has a YouTube channel? Interesting. I didn't know that. None of the acting is Oscar worthy. However, it definitely fits this type of movie and this type of budget. I mean, it's not a big Hollywood blockbuster, but it's still fun. It would have been, I think, even more fun to have a little bonus scene after the final rolling credits. I always watch to the bitter end just to see if there are, so I can tell you. Definitely in Marvel movies, you definitely need to stay seated because there's always going to be something, but there wasn't anything in this movie, and they could have easily done something really fun. Let me give you some tips for parents because kids are going to be interested in this movie. First of all, like all movies geared towards teens and kids, there is farting in this movie. There is some mild profanity, lots of destruction. Kids trespass in a store. You're a parent, talk to your kids about that because that's illegal. There are some scary images and moments that could easily frighten young children. So I'm thinking ages 10 and up probably are best recommended for this movie. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well in the movie are second marriages and blended families, death of a loved one, accepting change, tradition, Halloween, trespassing, as I mentioned, spirits of the dead, curses, growing up, and possession. Well, it's kind of like curses. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines just so that you can kind of get a taste and feel for the movie. And then I have all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can run over there and check all that stuff out. But I'll share a few of them with you right now. For the funny lines, here's a couple of things that I wrote down. So Carson, who's one of the kids, played by Dylan Martin Frankel, is just sort of having this playful banter back and forth with his buddies. And finally, one of the kids doesn't get something. And so the other one starts to explain. And he's like, it's not a joke if you have to explain the punchline, dude. So they have kind of this fun relationship and banter with each other throughout the entire movie. Another line that Carson says is, men can't live on Skittles alone. There's a lot of product placement, both verbally and visually, because we're in the store, obviously, and you're going to want to buy the stuff that you see. Your kids are going to want to. No, I didn't write down any brilliant lines, unfortunately, because it's not a super profound movie, but just kind of a lot of good fun. But it can spark some interesting conversations like, do you believe there are spirits? Do you believe in curses and that kind of stuff? But some other movies that I thought of instantly as I was watching this movie are some that I'll recommend. First is the TV show called Stranger Things. Like I said, I kind of got that vibe from it. And then the classic Goosebumps, any of those movies, and of course their books. They're scary enough. In fact, when my kids were reading the books, I would read them out loud with them. I was like, this stuff is really scary when they were little. And they were like, oh, Mom. And then I don't know why, but another movie I thought of is called The House with the Clock in Its Walls. Have you seen that one? It's got Jack Black in it, and he is hilarious, and the incredible Cate Blanchett. She's just one of my favorite actresses. She's so great. And so I was kind of surprised to see her in this kind of goofy Halloween-y type of a movie. But anyway, it's an interesting movie, kind of fun. So check that one out. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. And thank you for supporting me on this channel by just simply subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, and be sure and click on that little bell notification. It'll let you know every time I upload a new movie review or trailer reaction or documentary analysis. And when you get another minute, run over to Instagram and follow me there as Movie Review Mom, but also at Trina Boice, which is my name. I'm an author of 31 books and an online course creator, and I have a daily podcast. So you can check all of that stuff out. Thank you so much. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.